Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching Severance. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Today we're watching episode 5 of Severance. The last one was enlightening. Okay, so I'm gonna just start off with Irv and Bert. They're probably my two favorite characters on this show. I'm enjoying it because it's still mysterious. Like, I don't know what their history is. I don't know. Like, it seemed like they knew each other or they'd had like a run in with each other before. But because like O&D and micro data refinement, is that what it is? I think it is. Anyway, they seem very far apart. And they kind of have heavy chemistry when they're together. There is eyes, there is touching, there is hand holding. Like, they are kind of two peas in a pod, especially when they're like looking at the art, which I don't think that there is a single piece of art that is on the entire floor that is meant to instill hope at all. Like, they're like, oh, it's terrifying. He could fall off that cliff. And then it's like sick people and then like whipping someone into subjugation. So like, I feel like they like are inspired by it, but it's not inspiring. Like, they're still finding something about it that like a beauty or a love for it, and it seems like Irv is this guy because he really loved the perpetuity wing and he loved the history of it and the story of it. And I think he's trying to find a connection to where he is at work, and that's what it is. And then he has this connection with Bert. And I love it. I love it. I mean, here's the thing. Workplace relationships happen all the time, right? Sometimes it's how people cope with their jobs. And I feel like that could be definitely a way that like two people could cope, is kind of like being in it together and having something that they look forward to every day. Because in this world, you don't have much to look forward to. Being scared of fives, and on occasion going to a horrible wellness visit, possibly getting sent to the break room where they like obliterate you. And then as soon as the elevators close, they open back up and it's like you've never left. That sounds like hell. Absolute hell. Helly was right. It's hell. Helly, hell. Weird. Anyway. But like, Irv went back to OMD to talk to Bert, and there is a room that is back there that is full of people just writing all this information down, reading the machines that I'm sure are just like data, and just, I don't know what that is. I'm very curious to find out. But the fact that Irv kind of had like a moment where he like closes the door and you can see his gears start to turn. Now this thing that he's kind of built up is like this beautiful place, like with all these, I mean, especially the perpetuity wing, like there's this history that he's part of and he's a team. And then he realizes that there's a lot of secrets. There's some stuff that's going on that might not be on the up and up. A lot of stuff is probably not on the up and up. But I also think that because Bert like drew the map for Irv to get to OND, that Bert knows his way around this floor. So if he can draw that map, he can draw another map, like a way out of here, or where the houses are, or like where all the little things were that was on Petey's map, because now it's gone. It's destroyed. Mark was like trying to prove a point to Helly and just decides to destroy it. Like, it's not a big deal. And I've never wanted to reach through a TV and strangle somebody in my entire life. Like, just to be a dick. Like he's just like, see, I don't need it. Who cares? It's gone. And I care a lot, and I'm pissed that it's gone. Now, they also found Rickon's book, which, I think Mark reading it and Dylan reading from it, like, it does instill hope, because Rickon is that like positive, optimistic fool. He's just so innocent and so infuriatingly naive. It just feels like there's good qualities to Rickon. Don't get me wrong, but I mean, like, his book like probably inspires, but it's like no chicken soup for the soul. It's probably kindly, nicely well written. It's his 5th book, so hopefully he's getting better every single time. But if it's inspiring and it causes inspiration, let's hope that there could be like a peaceful coup. Yay! Because and I mean, y'all who have watched the series probably know how it goes. But to me, Dylan being inspired at all, like words of positivity and like charging his soul, like I could just see him charging through doors and attacking people with staplers and taking the paper cutter and slicing throats. Like I could see Dylan doing all that shit. So then we also had Mark going to Petey's funeral, which like he's just from Lumen, but he can't even tell them how like he knows Petey. Like he can't say I worked with him because then they'll just be like, how do you know you worked with him? Wow. Like severed or, and then Coble shows up as Miss Selvig. And she's like, what are you doing here? And he's like, well, he worked for Lumen. I saw it on the news. I thought he'd come in, which was very smart that he did not say, I think I knew him or we were friends or something like that. Like super smart. Not that I think he trusts Miss Selvig, but I think that it was really funny that she brought him chamomile cookies, and that's really supposed to give you a sense of calm. Anyway, but like I don't think he like trusts her. I think like he just kind of tolerates her and is like kind to her because he's probably just a kind person, except when he drinks, which I don't think he's really around her when he drinks, except for the funeral that had alcohol. My type of funeral, if you can have one. But Mark kind of got an insight into Petey's life, had a brief interaction with Petey's wife or maybe even ex-wife. They might not have been on good terms because he also meets June and June kind of almost like chastises him for like, oh, are you also somebody that like, did what he did? And like, what do you think about, and I don't know if she like connects that Mark is severed, but like, I don't know how he could just like try to forget about his life for, so many hours out of the day. And I think that interaction with June and like seeing like the funeral and then Petey's video with June, I think it was like really building up a lot of emotion in Mark because he had this life that Mark goes to Gemma's crash site where she died and, has a breakdown. And obviously he hasn't been dealing with it. He hasn't been seeing a psychiatrist. You see him crying in the first episode before he goes into work. And he's using the severed floor as a way to like get away from it. And then kind of like almost realizing like when Petey tells him, it's just like, you had this heaviness about you, you carry it with you. And I think like him having that breakdown finally was important, but then Gemma's candle that Coble stole from the basement being in the wellness visit and then him sculpting that tree out of clay, they definitely, your innies and your outies still share a subconscious. So I wonder if an outie can dream about their innie, like the day that they had. Because obviously the outie can't dream because they don't get to sleep. Interesting. But I really want to know what Coble was hoping having that candle lit was going to do for Mark. It's weird because it does seem like she cares about him in the weirdest damn way, but she also like shows up to Petey's funeral and drills his implant out of his head. So, I mean, she must not have cared that much about Petey. I wonder if it were Mark, if she would be able to like drill the implant out of his head. I hope we don't have to see that because I like Mark and I want him to live. Now, he also keeps getting phone calls from Petey's cell phone. Well, I guess Petey's getting phone calls from his cell phone, but Mark sees it buzzing and lighting up. And I'm sure it's the reintegration peeps. Like they're probably checking on Petey, or if it's, I mean, like I want Mark to answer it because I want him to get answers so then he can just see what a horrible place Lumen is. But then also I kind of don't because obviously Petey died because he reintegrated. So it's not a success. So no, thank you. I'm good. Now Helly. She is a spitfire and I love her. But she starts off the episode still in the break room. She's getting mentally beaten. It wore down, I think. I'm like, I don't know what they're testing, but I really like think it's to see how long you can handle this before they break you. Like literally, it's not to break you, it's to test you, to see what they can and cannot do. Her running into Coble's office with the paper cutter, threatening to cut off her fingers, and like saying she wants to make the video to talk to her outie, and then her outie not having any of it, just being like, I will make your life a living hell, was breathtaking because obviously the innie does not want to be there. at all. And the Audi is just like, you're going to be there no matter what. And it's just like, it's like they have the same feeling, but just opposite ends, where it's just like they're both very passionate about this severed life. One really wants it, one really hates it. And then you see Helly take her life. And I don't know if she's dead, I don't know if she's saved, but I feel like Helly's Audi is definitely gonna have some reminders that her innie is not happy. And I mean, what threat is gonna possibly scare Helly more? She wants out so badly she's willing to take her own life. Like there's nothing you can do to scare her further. And then, I think if she survives, she gets, the map from Bert, and then they find out where those houses are. And like it'd be wild if like that's also where Helly stays, but we know Helly has a car on the parking lot. So what are those houses? People that never leave, but who are the people that never leave? And I still get the feeling that Helly is somebody important, obviously from Milchek. Oh my God, Milchek. Tillman's acting is just on point. But like he was like really stressing like how excited he was to have her there and like what a great opportunity it is. And she seems like she's a fierce woman in her outer form. So like her inner form, like obviously still gonna be a fierce woman, but like who the fuck is Helly? She's got to be somebody important. And also, what were the voices that she was hearing? Because when she's talking to Dylan, she's like, oh, the muffled voices. And he's just like, you mean the baby crying? And I was just like, what the hell does that mean? Like, does Dylan have a baby on the outside? Like is she hearing like something from her Audi form while that's going on? Like, or are they playing that to like mess with her mind? Or like, are they playing it for Dylan to mess with his mind? I don't know, but like to hear a baby crying, I feel like that's the subconscious breaking through. I don't know, I could be wrong. I typically am, but I'm enjoying the mystery of it and trying to figure it out and put the puzzle pieces together. It could be frustrating and horrible, but it is so fucking well done. Like this show's a masterpiece. I can't believe more people don't watch it. So let's get into this episode and then let's all spread the word that everyone needs to watch this, because I know season 2 is coming eventually and I can't wait for that. Like, I don't know, like, who makes it out, who's still in it, if everybody gets reset, if there's, like, a whole new batch and, like, all these people get their implants taken out. I don't know. I wouldn't put it past them. This is horrific and amazing and wonderful, and I'm enjoying it thoroughly. So that being said, let's get into it. I couldn't do that with this hand. It felt weird. Oh. Oh. Oh, God. Oh, God. That security guard just got a big surprise, didn't he? Oh, God, he's not there. Yeah, you gotta hook your feet on the handles, girl. Look at all those erasers. Oh.
Jesus. Get help!
She's still alive?
Helly, get in the elevator! Is she okay?
And then boom, done.
Judd?
Mr. Scout, you have a good evening.
Will do. Same to you.
That was the fact that he could just see that horrific sight and then right up the elevator and just gone. I wonder if that lives with him like Gemma lives with him when he goes to be his innie. It has to. It has to. It's gonna fuck with me, and I mean, I didn't experience it. My God. This scene right here still gets me. The innie pulling on the tag in the shadow. Devastating. Oh, I thought they were going to deny him because of what he saw. So he's going to come right back to it. Adam's gone.
Have a seat, Mark.
By the elevator? No wellness visit? Give him some clay.
Hallie Zowdy has no intention of resigning.
But she almost died. I mean, she doesn't want to be here.
And she will be back at her desk in a few days.
Cruel. So cruel.
This happened on your watch, Marquess.
Bitch. You bitch.
And you can thank Keir himself it went the way it did.
It actually happened on your watch, Cobell. If we're being honest. What a great performance Adam just had. Well, happy, happy, joy, joy times in that book. Just breathing inspiration and happiness and positivity.
What separates man from machine is that machines cannot think for themselves. Also, they are made of metal, whereas man is made of skin. If you are a soldier, do not fight for my freedom. Fight for the freedom of the soldier fighting next to you. This will make the war more inspiring for you both.
Yeah. He's gonna help Hallie get out of there, isn't he?
Bullies are nothing but bull and lies. At the center of industry is dust. They cannot crucify you if your hand is in a fist.
Okay, Rickon's good.
Stop and ask if it's truly you that must change, or the system.
The system! Oh, rage against the machine.
Full synaptic coupling. Peter Kilmer's memory was reintegrated. You were right, Harmony.
It works. They still died.
Please find out who did this. I'd like to deliver everything to the board at once.
I'm sure she would. She seems to be a peon in the grand scheme of things, so I'm sure she wants something big to just drop on him.
All right, Mark, it's Rickon. Listen, I know you're still in severed Mark form, but
the baby
at 4 centimeters, so this baby is officially coming. We're headed
Uncle
to the birthing
Mark!
retreat now, so please come. Mark, Rickon
the
again.
birthing retreat.
We're at the retreat, and the child is continuing toward the birth canal, so it would be really great.
Oh, hey.
Sup?
Did you forget that I was going to be here?
Slightly?
Ouch.
The contractions are about 20 minutes apart.
Oh, so we still don't have a
time.
baby yet, but Rickon was freaking out.
Rickon is doing this thing where he cries over her.
Expected.
So
Yeah.
I'm giving them some privacy.
It's such a Rickon thing to do. Want to go on date number 2? Less alcohol this time? Mark, I want you to be happy. Lots gotta change.
Mark, say a secret, quickly.
He doesn't have to, babe.
The fetus is drawn to clear air. Purging secrets can create a soul void that speeds the labor.
Okay, and we want that.
Oh, we do. Mark, I love you, and I feel hurt that you haven't called me to thank me for the book yet. There, good.
The book?
We left a copy of his new book on your doorstep.
5 days ago, 5 full days.
Okay, well, I definitely haven't seen that. I mean, it must have been stolen or something.
What? That was an advanced copy. Oh my God.
It's okay, Rickon. No one is trying to get your advanced copy. Maybe Dylan.
You okay?
Okay,
She's giving birth.
I'm good.
Yeah?
Yeah, I'm gonna go get coffee.
Really?
Oh, that's not something you want to do, I think, when you're giving birth. I feel like I'd throw that up. And I love coffee.
Oh. Mark, would you help me hang the kelp?
I thought that was kelp.
Do you really want me to explain it?
Kinda. I want to know. He's used to Rickon shenanigans. I'm not.
Hi, I'm so sorry.
I'm another pregnant lady, and I got distracted by your beautiful coffee, and I was wondering if there's any chance you could hook me up.
Okay.
Yeah? Yes, thank you.
It's a weird request. It's not a drive-through window. Uterus sisters, I guess. That is quite the different birthing suite.
I'm Devin.
Cabin.
Gabby. My third. I'm naming him William.
3 kiddos. I'm so fucking scared of ruining one child. How do you handle it?
A lot of help, I guess.
Yeah, she's rich.
I know the last time you were in a medical facility was for Gemma.
What is this?
Oh, is that what this is? Medical facility?
Of course, the baby's middle name could have been so lovely a tribute to her, but I understand you were unable to be comfortable with it.
Your kid deserves her own name without some big, feely baggage.
It's a tribute.
Need me to tell a secret?
Yeah, go ahead. Give me your dark shit.
Well, so,
Is it gonna be honest? You went to a friend's funeral that you shouldn't even know?
I kind of think Lumen might be up to something.
What do you mean? Like with your paychecks?
No, I've just been...
What?
You can tell Devin. She's okay.
You remember the businessman?
Oh!
Holy...
Yeah, you can't talk about it in front of Rickon.
Why do people do this?
I'll go get Alexa.
Wait.
Not one birth that I've witnessed in media has ever tempted me to say, yeah, I'd like to go through that, and I'd love to have a baby. So the reintegration worked on PD, but he died from it, or complications from it. So would that happen to Mark is the question. Like, did PD have an underlying condition that brought that about? Uncle Mark. I'm gonna pass out, Rickon says.
When she sees you, it's important your eyes be kind. Do you know how to make your eyes kind?
Jesus, Melchak. You know, show him. No. Mm-mm. Nope.
You're okay. It's all right.
That is kind. Oh, look at those kind eyes. And then it got creepy.
Do you want to talk about it?
Oof. She doesn't trust you, Mark. She probably doesn't trust anything on that floor.
Miss Casey.
I'm here to observe Heliar. Upon request, I can also perform a hug.
You know, I've been exhibiting signs of sadness. Could I get one of those?
Oh, Dylan. Shoot your shot, dude.
If you're upset, you can request a hug.
I know. I'm good.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a hug from her anyway. Irv, maybe. I bet Irv gives good hugs. Are you thinking about that back room? Are you dozing off? Irving? Irving?
We lose you again there, buddy?
Something's come up, and I'd like to seek Bert's counsel.
Okay, fine. Just make a copy of that map in case we have to come find you.
I love that. I love that he said that. I love that Mark shows that he cares. Whoa. Whoa. They all have badges on.
I'm sorry, Irving. What are these? Nothing. A joke for Miss Cobell.
Nope.
Nothing like that could happen here.
Milchick says it didn't happen. And why would one department physically attack another?
It's a setup. Irv, it's to make you afraid of O&D.
I could ask.
Your new friend who lied to you about the size of his department? How do we know what else he isn't being kosher about?
It's a setup. Irv, go talk to Bert. Get that sweet, sweet hug. Bet Bert gives good hugs too.
You ran a 266 on Irving B.
I thought it might dissuade him from spending so much time with Bert G.
Smart.
I'm trying something new with Miss Casey. Keep it between us.
I guess they don't normally think outside the box on this floor. That makes sense.
Heliar, please describe for me your time in the restroom.
No.
Oh, no. That's okay. I can watch Heliar while you're gone. It's only a few minutes, right?
Distribution supplies 8 minutes. Round trip.
You don't trust him for 8 minutes? Come on, Miss Casey. A lot can be done in 8
I go to
minutes.
distribution supply all the time, so I could, if you...
Dylan's got a crush.
I'm good, thanks.
No, you're right. We shouldn't go anywhere without Miss Casey.
Careful out there, boss. Weird energy about.
Indeed. The entire show.
Petey's map.
Part of it, at least.
I thought maybe if we work on it together, we can,
I'm not your new Petey.
No, that's not really what he was searching for. He's trying to help you escape.
Ellie.
Oh, where are you going? I love this. I love the light design of this.
Bert G is in the conference room.
Why would she tell him that? Please don't be mean to him about the picture.
I was looking for you. I hadn't heard from you. Well,
Dylan! Dylan!
Oh my God! What are you doing?
He was coming at you!
Let him out!
Let him out!
Let him out!
Fuck is he here? You saw that painting? You want to get disemboweled today?
Irving!
Maybe Milchek did something bad. Where does this go?
Ellie?
Oh my god, I love the way this is filmed.
Don't you want to at least...
I told her I wanted out and she told me I wasn't a person. My own self told me that.
Don't focus on her. What do you want? In here.
What I want is for her to wake up while the life drains out of her and to know it was me who did it.
What was that?
Why did you lie about the number of people in your department? Because we don't trust you guys.
You, the king of fucks, don't trust us?
I do.
But people
Hey.
just talk about MDR. It's literally silly. Like they say, you all have pouches. Pouches? Like to carry young? Yes. You each have a larval offspring that will jump out and attack if we get too close.
That's fucking psycho.
I mean, it's a joke, of course, but I don't know. The larva eventually eats and replaces you.
Yo.
Which Irving would solve
That's
the
whack.
mystery of your youthful energy.
Irv, are you sweet on this guy?
Yeah.
You disapprove?
I do. I do disapprove.
Because he's a fuck.
It's not safe.
What is that? It sounds like a baby and a duck. Maybe a baby duck. Lamb? That makes way more sense. Hi, little goat. Come on, that's fucking delightful. I mean, it might be scary when they get to where they're headed, but like, it's cute right now. Aww.
They're not ready. You can't take them yet. They're not ready. It isn't time.
Oh, oh.
Go!
What a bizarre wing.
The grim barbarity, optics and design. That's what it said.
The grim
There's
barbarity
definitely no
optics
painting by that name.
I mean, I'll have to confer with my larva, of course.
You guys are too cute.
There is something in the storeroom I'd like to show you.
A painting?
And Dylan, of course.
Come on, Dylan. Go! You wiener.
Look at the badges the raiders are wearing. That's not O&D, Dylan. It's us.
This one's never gone into the hallway rotation. It's called the Macro Data Refinement Calamity.
Okay, but we've never done anything like that. Why the hell would there be two versions of the same painting?
To pit each company against each other. Or each division. Oh, that was a great transition.
I mean, what if the goats are the numbers? Like, we're deciding which goats live and which ones... Oh, God.
I doubt it's that.
It might be, though. God, I don't doubt anything these days.
Oh, hi, Miss Casey. We were just heading back from our mental health walk.
You're both
smart,
unhurt. I'm glad. I was scared.
Sorry.
I forgive you.
Very emotive.
Okay, then.
Dry as fuck.
You're not stopping it.
The surest way to tame a prisoner is to let him believe he's free.
There's a cure quote for everything. I would be careful. Upstairs wouldn't look kindly on this.
Yes, Daddy.
Oh. Okay. Oh, he's bringing them in.
I want to introduce you all to Irving and Dylan. They're friends.
Except Dylan. He might go ape shit. No! Oh, I want more. Oh, God. I didn't expect them to actually go into the back of O&D. Oh, that's wild. Okay, I did not expect Bert to take Dylan and Irv into O&D and, like, the real O&D. But also, the attempt to make those two departments, like, not only fear each other, but, like, kind of hate each other. And switching the badges around and the paintings, like, that's really smart to keep people separated and to fear them in, like, this story of a coup. And Milchek wasn't denying it. Like, he was kind of like, of course not. But it was just like, there might have been a coup. There also might not have been a coup, but they definitely might have been a group that came together and figured things out previously. So it's interesting that could be happening again. Dylan's, like, distrust for Bert is something. Like, I feel bad for Irv because Irv, like, genuinely has feelings for him. And he even says, you know, they frown of relationships of more than a platonic nature. I want it to happen. I want it to happen so badly. I love those two together. I love just, like, the sweet little jokes they have. And, like, even, like, you know, Irv being able to joke about, like, the larva. And it's so stupid that they have a pouch that the larvae come out of and then it eats them and then they're, like, recreated. It's wild. And then I would especially think that O&D gets all those visuals. So like they're constantly being bombarded with these images of just dread and misery and fear, and it's wild. But I do love that Dylan was still trying to read the book of Rickon. And then I love that Mark is still reading the book from Rickon. And it's like Rickon mentioning like, you haven't even called me about the book, and Mark just being like, what book? Like, I wonder if any Mark like could read something that outie Mark would then say out loud, and Rick would be like, you did read my book, and him be like, no, I didn't. And it's the two consciousness, like, you know, like coming together and floating away. Now Irv kind of getting lost. See, I don't know if he's falling asleep or if he's like what is that called when you disassociate? Like if he's disassociating when he's at work, and like that's what he's seeing, like when everything starts kind of melting and it seems like ink, and then I still keep thinking about his fingers and like the ink that was there, and I wonder if like the two are related somehow. But can I just say, brilliant work with Adam Scott. Like, I feel like being like warm and kind and like having a warm, kind face is actually the easiest thing to do. I think that we're taught that at a very early age to like put on like a kind face. And the fact that he was struggling to do that, but then like Adam Scott probably had to like really try hard not to make it a kind face. But I loved like just like him reacting to seeing Helly, and him like being so scared and terrified about what he just witnessed. And then, you know, Milchek shoving him through the door and just being like, you're going through the elevator. And then like the complete like bleakness that was on his face. Like it just like went from being terrified to like nothing. And I know that like he probably carries that with him and he doesn't understand why, but then he immediately like reads his phone and it's like, you know, his niece is being born. So like if he had a high heart rate after that, then it would have just like, you know, felt like it was from that. I think it might not even have been the same day, but like, I'm just like thinking like, wouldn't you just like be freaking out if your heart rate was still the same and you had like a feeling of anxiety or dread, like that just kind of didn't go away, but you didn't know why it was there? I mean, maybe he feels that way every day when he pops out of that elevator because he's got to go face real life. I'm not sure. But we know that he doesn't necessarily have that all the time at work, or if he does, he doesn't know why. But then him getting back on the elevator and immediately thinking about Helly and the situation and it not being there anymore. It's Miss Coble, who's not soothing at all. It's like she's so soothing as Miss Selvig, and then as Coble, she's just cold. And I get it. Like she has to be. Like you don't want to be like somebody that somebody can confide in or, you know, feel close to at work. Like you don't want to inspire hope or any of that. Which I actually think like it would make them want to be there. Like if there was hope. But I feel like if they kind of like instilled like a little bit of hope, then everybody would feel like a team. And then if everybody felt like a team, they'd want to do a really good job on this floor. But that doesn't seem to be what they want to have happen. They want to keep everybody separate and keep it very cold and sterile. And the wellness lady, Miss Casey, like I go to therapy and my therapist is incredibly soothing. That lady, like while she doesn't make you feel one way or the other, soothing is not what I would call her. Devoid, robotic, very, how are you? I can give you a hug. And then she didn't even seem like upset that like she found them like where they shouldn't be. And I feel like that's like her job. So she should feel like mildly alarmed by it, I think. But she wasn't. I mean, she asked if they were okay, but they saw baby goats, and then they're concerned that they're killing baby goats when they bin number 5. Like, I don't know. You want to find happy 4s? Like, she didn't really find that funny whatsoever. I mean, she laughed, but like, it's not that she found it funny. I'm wondering who the fuck Helly is outside of this, because like for her to want to keep going back and for her Innie to be fighting it this much, like that is like ignoring a piece of you that's in desperate need of help. And instead of it being the other way around where the outie is in desperate need of help, it feels like it's the Innie, to where, you know, Mark's Innie doesn't feel like there's a desperation of help, but his outie does. Him almost telling Devin about Petey was like, stupid baby. And I don't know what was up with the kelp. I really would have liked an explanation on that. Rickon is so freaking weird. Him saying that he needs to get rid of a dark secret to clear the air for the fetus. Oh god. He's so cringe, but like sweet at the same time. Like he genuinely means well, but it's just like, oh god. Cringy. Definitely Kobol's conversation with I already forgot his name, whoever does like the security and all that, about the chip, and that the reintegration worked on Petey, even though I don't know if it was a success. It worked. If he is subject number 1, a mild success, I guess. But her really wanting to deliver everything to the board. Who's responsible for it? The chip, what was on it, that reintegration is real. I don't know if that's her, like, you know, being like, boom, motherfuckers, like stop being a dick to me, because it seemed like they don't really care about her. I don't know if that's it, or if like she also would like the whole Severance thing to stop. I'm not quite sure what her long game is. I feel like it's a promotion, but I could also be wrong, because it seems like Miss Selvig, like, I don't know if Selvig is an act or if that's just her and Kobol is the act when she's down there. But her saying that she wanted to try something new with Miss Casey, I don't think that Lumen would really like her thinking outside the box. Even though you saw Milchek do it with the painting, I feel like, I don't know, like that could work in her favor or against her. I don't know really what the point was of Devin having coffee with the rich lady who was giving birth next door, other than to kind of make a friend that's on the up and up. But I feel like that lady might be connected to Lumen somehow, because she's also very devoid of feelings. Like, she wasn't really like scared of Devin. She wasn't surprised by Devin. She didn't really like show a lot of emotion one way or the other. And Devin kind of just saying like, she's, you know, shy but sweet. It was just like, it really reminded me of Miss Casey. So it's really interesting, like, if you could be severed in the outside world. I don't know what the point of that scene was, but I'm sure it will be paid back a lot. Mark not wanting the baby to have Gemma's name, that it's like an emotional baggage. It's only emotional baggage for him. A tribute and honoring somebody with a namesake, I think, is really special, and I think it's really sweet, and it shows that she was loved. And I don't know if that's hard for Mark to swallow, is that she was loved, but she's also gone. So now that Bert has taken Irv and Dylan to O&D, what are they going to learn? like is there going to be a knife fight? Like I was just like, they're going to start stabbing each other in the hallway. Like, is it going to happen in this room? I hope not. I feel like Dylan is definitely going to be standoffish. He's going to say something that's offensive, or he's going to be a dick. And that is kind of Dylan. I dig that energy though. I really enjoy it. But him saying that all Helly needed was finger traps, like he has a pile of erasers. So he has a way that he's coping with being on this floor. And I think O&D and Bert is Irv's way of coping, of being on this floor. And now Mark's way of coping is to actually help Helly succeed. I don't know what Helly's way of coping is. Letting someone in? Because she had told Mark, like, I have zero interest in being part of your family. I'd rather take a razor to the throat, which was fucking harsh. But I feel like Helly needs a purpose, and I don't want her to get a purpose so she stays on the floor, but just so she can cope. The show is a lot about not coping with your feelings and your emotions and your trauma, and what that can lead to, and how dangerous that is. It's kind of like the big takeaway. And I wonder what Bert's trauma is and what he's coping with, and the rest of the people in O&D. Like what are they dealing with outside? I really want to get more of like Audi, Helly, Dylan, and Irv, and even Bert. Like I would love to know more about that. And I don't know if we have to wait for another season. Like I said, I don't even know if they make it out of this season. They could burn Lumen to the ground, and then the next season is, the reintegration season. I don't know. But this show is so intriguing. The goats was weird. I don't know what the point of that was quite yet. And him saying like, they're not ready, you can't take them yet. I don't know if that has anything to do with the numbers in the bins, but it seemed like Helly was kind of onto something, but like them walking through the hallways and the lights turning on and off as they're walking down, it was just great visually. Stunning. The cinematography in this, the cinematography, the directing, the light design, the sound design, the music, the acting, all of it. I just like praise it every episode because there isn't one thing that happens in this show that is one by accident or is just there for funsies. It always has a meaning, or it's always meant to make you feel one way or another. And I definitely don't take that for granted. You know, everything melting from the ceiling was meant to make you feel a certain way. The symmetry of the hallways and the lights turning on and off is meant to make you feel a certain way. Us seeing the paintings are meant to make us feel a certain way. It's mind bending. It's so amazing. I absolutely adore this show. And it just keeps getting better. It keeps getting darker. It keeps getting heavier. And I love that shit. And I love that I can't figure out things. Where I might be onto some things, there's like other things where I'm just like, what was the point of that? Like the lady in the cabin. Like, I don't know what the point it was of Devin talking to her, because it didn't seem like she got anything out of it other than a cup of coffee. But I'm hoping that that comes back around. And proves useful and important. Or the kelp hanging from the damn lines. I don't know what that was about, but I'm here for it. Like, Rickon is like that conundrum to where I'm just like, I want to slap you, but I also want to give you a hug because you were just like that person that I'm sure everyone's like, oh, you sweet summer child. Like, constantly with Rickon. The innocence, the naivety, and the sweetness and everything is lovely, but it can be a little too much. But guys, if you want to watch the full-length reaction to this episode, it will be available on my Patreon, as well as the previous episode's full-length versions, as well as other shows that I'm watching. I have finished The Expanse as the time of recording this. It was emotional, and I made the mistake of watching Wakanda Forever the day before. So that full-length reaction will also be available soon, and the edited version at some point. And then we're going to be doing polls on my Patreon for new shows that will be replacing The Expanse. Probably one sci-fi show, maybe a comedy. I'm thinking Firefly and Ted Lasso is kind of where me and Xander are leaning a little bit. We might, once the Bad Batch finishes, I will be probably doing an anime show, and I will be putting all of those up on Patreon. And then, you know... This show, like, I don't want to be like, hey, if there's another show like this one, let me know, because I feel like this is like in a whole league of its own. But if there's like another one that kind of makes you scratch your head, I have seen Mr. Robot. That has been suggested, and yeah, that was an incredibly good show. But if there's something else that like you think that like would make me itch my head but also be intrigued, let me know. Put it in the comments. I'd appreciate it. In the meantime, like, subscribe, and comment below what you think I should be watching. And also, what would you do if you found out your innie tried to kill themselves and had a rope around the neck? Like, what would you do in that scenario? Would you not have empathy for your innie? I feel like Audi Helly has zero empathy for any Helly, but I feel like me, as an emotional person, I would be like, shit, what am I doing to myself when I go down there? Like, why is it so awful? Why is it so bad? I care about that person. Okay, I'm never going back. Like, that's just me, but I don't know what y'all would do. Probably never be in the situation to begin with. Okay, guys, super excited for the next couple episodes. This show just keeps ramping up in like the best ways, and it's still visually stunning every single time, but like the acting is so on point, and I'm loving every minute of it. But guys, I'll see you next time.